here. Welcome to another edition of the program Weekend Review on Television, Nigerian. My name is Anthony Momodu. This week we'll be focusing on all the big issues that took place right here in Nigeria from the 30th day of April 2018 to the 4th of May 2018. So we'll be looking at all the big events, both on the home front and also on the global scene. We'll be looking at big stories there. We'll go for a quick break. When we come back, we'll be reading out all the big stories that we'll be focusing and reviewing today.
For almost a decade, the Nigerian army have given their all to ensure that our dear country is not overrun by Boko Haram insurgents. Some have in the process paid the ultimate price, while many will forever live with indelible scars occasioned by their determination to protect the country, no matter the hurdle. Despite these, they have remained resolute and undaunted, and today, all territories the insurgents once took control of have been recaptured and normalcy restored. And now, for the first time in a long time, the end of Boko Haram is foreseeable. Therefore, the wisest thing for the remaining insurgents to do is to surrender today or face total destruction from the army. Remember, the Nigerian army will stop at nothing to ensure that total peace is restored in all parts of the country. So, be wise and embrace peace today or get ready to be ruthlessly dealt with. This message is brought to you by the Coalition on Conflict Resolution and Human Rights in Nigeria.
All right, welcome back. This is the program Weekend Review where we look at our satellite and all the big stories. On the local scene, we'll be looking at the story concerning Donald Trump and President Muhammadu Buhari's meeting, which took place in the White House. What the fallout of that meeting is, we'll be focusing on. We'll also be looking at the Inspector General of Police, Ibrahim Idris, his refusal on non-appearance before the Senate committee, what the implications are. And also we'll be looking at Dino Melaye's prosecution, his arrest, bail and re-arrest, and in detention for the next 38 days in the police custody right there in Kogi State is what we'll be looking at. Also, we'll be looking at ex-president Olusegun Obasanjo's comment saying he will never support Buhari for his second term agenda. And also, Shehu Sani from APC Kaduna Central saying that he will never support any impeachment process against Mr. President. Those are the scale of our review for today. And my guest on today's show is the pro-democracy convener, the person of Rio Dare Atoye, who is also a current affairs analyst. Nice to have you join us.
Good day, nice to be here.
All right, let's begin from the home front, beginning with the meeting between Donald Trump and President Muhammadu Buhari. Would you say you were satisfied with the content of discourse which had to do with the economy and security?
Yeah, let me say that the fact that we've able to take advantage of such a meeting, it's not a bad development for the country, but interrogating the issues and what transpired is a different ball of game. I would like to say that again, we have been unable to effectively utilize the opportunity that such kind of a meeting presents. It's usually an opportunity to make a bold statement to the Americans who have always become a strategic partner to Nigeria, to make our views known and make our position count in their affairs and global affairs. For me, in terms of security, except that we paid for the Tucano aircraft that we'll be expecting in 2020, I don't think there is any plausible gain we've been able to have invested from that meeting. I had President Donald Trump expressing his misgiving about certain development in the country. That's fair enough. But
as regards the killings?
Yes, as regards the killings. But in terms of our president making specific demands about what the Americans should help the country to achieve, I didn't see that really. And for a nation that has witnessed the kind of killings we've had in the last 5 months, where close to 900 Nigerians have been killed, I think it's very important for us to make specific demands regarding the area where it has become very difficult for us to be able to address issue of insecurity in our nation. Regarding the economy, I think it wasn't a good enough bargaining for us because the president couldn't marshal out some basic point for to argue for the nation in terms of economic benefit. I think based on what transpired, the Americans even got a better part of the deal in terms of trying to open the Nigerian market to
The
agricultural produce, and we didn't make any good. We didn't make any good what do you call it demands out of that very important side of the meeting.
Would you say the president was being cautious, or the personality of Trump thwarted his intentions, especially when he was asked about the comment made by Trump as regards Africa and El Salvador coming from a shithole?
No, let's just not even deceive ourselves. I don't want to again use this opportunity to be criticizing the president too much, but believe me sincerely, we have a president who is incapable of negotiating on behalf of the country. And I don't think he has the team that is also capable of negotiating on behalf of the country. Previous meetings with other head of states and global leaders have been less impressive. So it's not different from what we've seen in the past. For instance, how can you be saying it's up to the Americans to either buy your oil or not? So why are you in the United States of America if you are not there to market your nation, to convince the Americans why it's very important for them to buy your oil? For instance, you can make a compelling case that Nigeria is strategic to the unity of the African region. Nigeria is very strategic to what happened in the Sahara region. That if you continue to buy our oil, there will be money for us to be able to stand by you in terms of ensuring stability in this part of the world. You can make such a compelling argument. That is there for you to make. But again, it's the kind of leadership we have. That's exactly what we're getting currently.
All right, let's go to Kogi State, starting from the city. Drama came all the way when Senator Dino Melai was being arrested. The whole event, from his escape and his rearrest and him being taken to the hospital, and then down to Kogi State where he finally was arraigned in the magistrate's court, and he being remanded for 38 days. Would you say he has met his, would you say Waterloo, or how would you describe the whole scenario?
There are three different dimensions. First, you have to look at what I would call issue of natural justice.
Okay.
And when you're talking about issue of natural justice, is that whatever you sow, so shall you reap. And that's why it's very important for you to know the kind of political alliances and deals you'll be making ahead of your time. I am saying this with all sense of responsibility because it was Dino's choice to join the APC. It was Dino's choice to support Yayabe Lutimag. It was Dino's own choice to romance with the kind of people that are currently making life so difficult for him. So based on natural justice, he probably repeat what he himself had sown. So there is no two way about it. But in terms of the reality of time and based on social justice,
okay,
I think what has been done to Dino, I talked about natural justice, I'm talking about social justice. Yeah. What has been done to Dino is is quite unfortunate and is undeserving of somebody of his stature. Even though I believe that everybody should be equal before the law, the common man also deserves to be treated appropriately, even though we've not seen that in our nation. The Dino case has again exposed the reality of the current situation that Nigeria is currently undergoing a serious threat to our democracy under some kind of oppressive administration and regime. And I can tell you that the assault on Dino is not just on Dino, it's also on our democracy. So for people must not look at it only from the fact that based on natural justice, Dino probably contributed to this by upnobbing with the kind of people that are making life difficult for him. But again, in terms of social justice, that look, what's going on now is an assault on our democracy and is totally uncalled for. The manipulation of our system, the police now becoming high-handed and overbearing. And if guys not taking, we are going through that Obasian state of nature where life is nasty and brutish and short. And however, in the case of his even parade in court on stretcher, that was totally unnecessary. But they would have allowed him for him to enjoy his treatment and come back to come and, attend to his ordeals, his case or cases in court. But let me tell you something. It's up to Dino to be able also to now. That's the third aspect of this. Dino can successfully politically appropriate the benefit associated with persecution of a political character. If he has the wisdom, the wit, and the knowledge to be able to appropriate this to his own benefit, he will come out of this very ordeal stronger, better, and with a better political mileage, not just in Kogi State, probably in North Central, and even over the country. So it depends on how he's able to manage the gains that are associated with it. But if you're unable to appropriate it, you also suffer the consequences.
All right, talking about the Nigerian police, the Inspector General of Police has failed twice to appear before the Senate committee. At the first one, they said he traveled with Mr. President to Bauchi, and the next one, he was at Zamfara to see over the killings that took place there. Are you impressed with the conduct of the Inspector General of Police, and do you think the National Assembly deserve what they're getting?
Yeah, let me say that certainly I'm not impressed by the refusal of the Inspector General of Police to honor Senate summon, the Senate summon. And it is also, like I said earlier, it's not good for our democracy. A situation whereby an independent arm of government that is supposed to be, or which is the bastion of our democracy, that's the legislative arm of government, and someone, the Inspector General of Police, has refused to come without any cogent reason. I think it's least deserving and it's unhealthy for our democracy. And I heard what the Senate President himself said, that the same IG had also before now disobeyed the directive of the President. And I can say there is sort of conspiracy between the presidency and even the IG, because and I don't know a situation whereby any president that has his own, that is fully assertive and disciplined, will allow his appointee and the Inspector General of Police to so disobey him without actually, attracting the necessary consequences. However, I want to advise the Senate that they should still give him an opportunity for him to come, but it is not going to be a fair record for our democracy for the IG to continue to disobey. It will greatly undermine our democratic process, and it's good for the people in the village. They should know that there is always an end to their term. They don't have a limitless opportunity to be there in the saddle. And they will be remembered for doing a great disservice to the nation. And the IG himself, he will not know the damage he's doing to himself now until when he's out of office.
All right, let's wrap up the home front by looking at ex-President Olusegun Obasanjo's comment saying he will never support the second term bid of Mr. President, and Shehu Sani on the other divide saying he will never support any impeachment process against Mr. President.
Yeah, let me start from Shehu Sani. I think he's entitled to his own opinion, and there is this mob response mechanism that the people, pro-Buhari people, have always been using to get at a perceived enemy of the president. So, of course, he doesn't want to be caught, in the web of that mob attack. So, it's a logical one for him. It's a sensible one for him if he's not supporting. I know that technically is supporting it, but probably maybe because the word technically now has entered our political lexicon. So, technically, I believe that based on his action utterances and his sayings on the floor of the House, he will not blink an eye if the president is removed today via the impeachment process. However, he had to make that statement very boldly so that he can ward off any sort of conspiracy to send area boys, to undermine him. So there is wisdom. However, if the president has committed an impeachment notice, I think the National Assembly should not hesitate to try it, even though I know it's not going to work at the end of the day. But it's good for the record that you did so and things, and the National Assembly attempted to act on that, not simply because they hate him, but to serve as a check, on the executive, for them to know that, look, that one day a president will be impeached in this country, because if you don't do the right thing, you deserve to be impeached. And also concerning the comment of Baba Obasanjo, it's like he also used that opportunity to further speak further. The conspiracy of, in the news was that he had made a U-turn and now supporting the President Buhari. But he also used the opportunity to not only retract, but to also say that even a moron will have seen the kind of challenges in the country that would not warrant such a person to even support the president. And I can tell you sincerely that the scorecard of the current administration is far, far below expectation, and even some of his supporters, hardline supporters. And that's why when I look at the reactions of some of Nigerians to T.Y. Danjuma, General T.Y. Danjuma, somebody who has been the friend of the president right from funding him and supporting him with money right from 2003. And for him to come out and say, look, this administration is not supporting my people, that some persons are colluding to undermine the people, he has his own facts. And look at what's going on. Now, the same thing that T.Y. Danjuma said, Obasanjo said, people have said, Donald Trump has also said it. Now, I did not go to say Donald Trump, the president of America, is also wrong for also giving them that same information right from us. So I just believe that I think the ineptitude of administration and the competence of the current government is so obvious to the blind and very loud to the deaf.
All right, we'll go for a quick break. When we come back from this break, we'll be going to the foreign scene to look at the big stories that made the rounds in this week on the foreign scene. That we'll be looking at also the Pope giving an apology to the victims of child abuse by some of the Catholic officials. That will be after this break.
Welcome to Living Treasures Academy. Enjoy a conducive and serene learning environment. Qualified and experienced teachers. Equipped computer laboratory and library. Secured atmosphere. Extracurricular activities. An all-embracing curriculum for total development of the child. Comprehensive education for leadership. Join us today from crèche to secondary levels. Living Treasures Academy, committed to excellence.
Alright, welcome back. You're still watching Weekend Review on television, Nigerian. My name is Anthony Momolu, and I still have my guests right here as we look at all the big stories that made last week really thick. Alright, let's begin with the Pope having apologized to the victims, the Chile victims of child abuse. Finally, for the Pope to come out owning up that this has occurred, would you give commendations to the Pope and the Catholic Church?
In the Christian faith, the place of asking for the remission of sin is very central, and also the place of restitution. And I will say that the Pope should not only just apologize, and the Church should also make restitution where necessary.
Right.
And that we mean to complete the circle in terms of to have track that total forgiveness and even the grace of God upon those who have committed these heinous crimes against children and the people of Chile. I want to commend the Pope for doing this, for not applying what we call political correctness,
okay,
and for being sincere enough. And I can tell this kind of a virtue will continue to attract people to the Christian faith, that look, there must be that place of sincerity and truth and honor for you to be able to admit, no matter how long it has taken for you to do this. So it's a welcome development, and I will add, just like I said, that where necessary, I think they should do rest. They've painted it compared to what others are doing. It's always also similar, one way or the other. They are doing the same thing. It's just that they decide to make Cambridge Analytica the scapegoat now. And it is also a wise choice and a wise decision for them to know that, look, the best thing for them to do is to technically close shops And that I can tell you that they're going to come up again under a different name. They're going to relax, watch out for the situation, observe things, and there are certain ways they're going to go. For instance, look at Facebook. In response to that problem, Facebook suffered a dip in its shares, and you know what Facebook has done now? They've come out with a new innovation called having a dating site on the Facebook, and they're going to make money from that. So it's innovation. I'm sure I expect Cambridge Analytica to come out. They might decide to go to another foreign nation to set up there.
All right. As we wrap up, let's look at the issue of Mullah, who is the person probing the Russian interference in the U.S. elections. They've come out to say, Mullah has come out to say he's threatening his opinion on Trump as regards the Russian probe. How far and how well do you think Mullah can go with this probe?
Well, it's a tricky web, the American politics and what's going on in Mullah and all sort of investigation. And I think I've seen that Mullah has even extended his tentacle beyond the Russian probe, which was the ultimate reason why the independent committee was set up in the first place. Not unexpected, simply because, you see, there is a concept when you meet the very strong political actors, the fixers, all these what we call political players. They will always tell you that there is no way that you will check the anus of anybody that will not meet something there, and that every human being is capable of one skeleton at one point or the other. So, and I think that's probably what they are doing, is that look, let's torture this situation very well, be able to get something out of it. However, you see, the bigger picture is the fact that I don't think they're going to impeach Donald Trump. Because I'm sure those who want Donald Trump out will come to their senses that, look, if you remove a Donald Trump, you're going to have Mike Pence. And the liberals don't even want somebody of this thinking and mindset of Mike Pence. They're not going to, if the best person they can even manage in this administration is Donald Trump, you're not going to like, Mike Pence is a real conservative religionist and somebody who believes in his faith, a real pro-life person, and who's not going to shake. So, as for me, I am pro-Trump. I'm not going to lie about that. So, I'm also pro-Pence because they supported the kind of thing that's happening in our country today. But however, I think every country deserves whatever they get. At least the people voted for them. So, it's the American issue. If the Congress doesn't want him, they will impeach him. But again, they will have a Mike Pence to contend with. So I don't know if they'll be held to that tax.
All right. We also had the news about the $130,000 paid to an adult film star by Trump, and Trump finally admitting. Is that going to do him more harm or good?
Yeah, I think there is something very tricky about it. You see, Giuliani, that's the latest inclusion in the legal team, is a very tough guy, he's knowledgeable very well. And I think probably he had an informant or an insider into the Mueller thinking. So they've been able to realize that it's better for the president to admit to it and find some way out of it than for the president to continue to deny. And you say, if you listen to what Giuliani said very well. He said that he doesn't think they'll be able to make issue out of this, that he has looked at the law, and I think the president will be able to escape that aspect of it. So I think he has a legal team that has the capacity to do that. So I don't still see them impeaching Trump.
All right, as we wrap up, we'll go for a quick break. When we come back, we'll be taking the comments of the week and we'll wrap it up. All right, welcome back from that break. It's time for us to wrap up the program with the comment of the week. For you, what will be the comment of the week? Which event stood out for you this week?
For me, I think what some young minds stated on the World Press Day is an association between a body called the Art and Civic Table and the Cartoonist Association of Nigeria. They started something doing what we call drawing board, and that was a very remarkable one for me. Drawing board here is the hashtag drawing blood, to symbolize the killings that is going on, that the cartoonists now want to apply red, at least in every of their cartoons, to ensure there is a symbol of red in it, just to
All right, that's how we'll call it a wrap on this week's edition of the program Weekend Review, as we looked at all the big stories and events that did occur on the global scene and right here on the home front. My guest has been a pro-democracy convener and also a current affair analyst in the person of Ario Atoye, who has looked at all the big issues and given us a very professional, very balanced and patriotic views on each of those issues. Thank you very much for joining us on Weekend Review.
Thank you for having me.
All right, so that's how we call it a wrap. Join me next week for another exciting edition. Special thanks to the entire production team. My name remains Anthony Momodu.